Stay Alive is a survival horror tabletop role-playing game with elements of violence, emotional trauma, biological infection, and may include other mature content or themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Previously on Stay Alive, our survivors found themselves reconnected finally. After days of separation and a tumultuous series of events that unfortunately saw Mage quickly succumbing to the animatus infection. Revealed only to a select few, and certainly with more time left on the clock, Gwen also finds herself now succumbing to the effects of the virus. Set aside the timelines that these survivors have been placed on, Adrian, the former school teacher from the survivors group, also suffering from a series of near life threatening wounds, and David just having got back to their collective force after a close scrap with a new breed of Zerk and a hostile survivor, former ally. All of this chaos and danger now coalescing surrounding the cultist like church of the Third Coming, a group worshiping the arrival of this virus as some form of selection of the worthy, something to provide a salvation army, ultimately not necessarily reaching their goals in the most casual of means. Previously having abducted Mage, Gwen having just returned from being abducted herself, and the cult having launched now 2 separate attacks on the school that has served as the survivors' bastion of safety. The moment of truth arises as Operative Taurus has joined their collective force, and the temporary, although a little bit ornery ally Charlie that David met out in his excursion take a rundown pickup truck, many of them loaded into the flatbed of the back, charging towards the last known location of this collected group of cultists. With half of our survivors on a very definitive and lethal clock, and the rest of them injured or otherwise hindered in some capacity, we pick up now as the hard charging force of our collective group begins making their way towards this, the symbol of their most recent threat, danger, in the hopes of potentially eradicating it in an attempt to recover the children from the school that they had taken on their last visit. As the truck kicks up, as Charlie attempts to forcefully drive you the approximate direction navigational assistance provided by those who had recently been there and escaped. Survivors. What happens next?
Okay, so what does this place look like exactly? Just a big open, is there like a fence?
You would know this to be an open air compound with large structures that are built alongside pre-existing structures, with a series of them being a little bit more shanty and cobbled together, combined with the movement pieces of existing structures that have now been modified. Some type of standout representation of what could have been isolated administrative comms towers or telecommunications structures that were designed to be out in the middle of nowhere. Other than that, there doesn't appear to be any definitive security, no fence work, no significant or observable security measures of any time. Also, before we carry any further forward, Adrian and David, both of you have been granted additional immunity boosts for tonight's incursion. So, survivors, what would you like to do?
All right. Y'all ready for this?
As ready as we're gonna be.
Excellent, excellent. Hey
I'm
T,
gonna
you
make
got a
sh-
second? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna, all I'm gonna do is make sure I know how to use this quick floater thing in my pod.
So you you load the rounds up in there.
Right?
You eject the chamber.
Right.
Put it in.
Okay.
You spin. It releases the ammunition down into it.
Sure.
You pull it back, and then you just
Alright.
flip it back up in.
Okay. Got it. Probably. All right. Okay.
You see Taurus still kind of nursing an injured left arm, finally pulling out his sidearm and like a dog in the back of a station wagon, slowly trying to get to his feet so he can lean on the top of the cab of the truck, looking out directly in front. Looking back at the rest of you, think we're getting close. Another couple minutes, maybe less. Pounds on the top of the truck. Slow us down. Let's creep up. Move quiet.
Nice and quiet, like. Hey T. With that arm being the way it is, you think you could handle the big boy here?
I mean, if I need to. Why?
Trade me for your magic wand.
Why do you want the magic wand?
Mage?
But
Oh, come on now. You're gonna deny me my dying wish?
Don't fucking do that to me, not right now.
Oh,
Such a prick.
oh.
Flips open the jacket pocket, handing the laser designator to you. All right, give me the big boy. Holsters the sidearm, kind of grabs the weapon from you. All right, yep. Let me just kind of awkwardly strapping it around himself and trying to sort of get situated a little bit here. Yep. It feels like home, kind of, a little bit. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna have to try and move quiet. What's the plan? Where are we going?
Well, you're on Operation Rescue the Kiddos. I'm on Operation Call out Isaac, talk a bunch of shit, and make a big distraction while I paint the area, and then you get the fuck out of there.
I'm going with you, Mage.
No, you're not.
Fuck them kids, man.
I heard
Dude.
that.
I didn't say it. Quiet.
I'm not coming back from this, brother. We both know it. They need you more than I do.
We'll
got
just
scissors.
deal with what we got to deal with when we get there. I know. Believe me, I know.
And between me and you, the doc there don't look so good. Which means all they got is the chef. And I don't think he's cooking up that much trouble.
Let's go. Doesn't respond to you and jumps out of the truck bed onto the ground nearby. David?
I don't mean to snoop, but we're all in the same truck. If you got the big rifle, pointing at the rifle that Taurus is now carrying, that I was previously carrying, maybe like a Overwatch where you can protect the kids, but also lend a little support. Like, I'm not an expert at tactics here, but like maybe you could do both and.
Yeah. I can provide assistance from a distance.
That's my man.
Reach out and tell someone you love them, right? All right. I'll cut through the brush. Y'all make sure you're not making noise on the way in. And you see Operative Taurus begin navigating towards the brush line, this raised thicket of woodland and vegetation that seems to surround the approximate location of the cult fortress beyond, disappearing and beyond. What are all of you looking to do?
The truck has come to a complete stop?
Yes.
Okay. Would I have any inkling as to where they may have taken the kids on this compound, having been here before, or?
You'd probably have a better idea having moved through it, but you'd have to get a gauge for where you are at in proximity to the compound by moving closer before you could establish that. You're still kind of not within visual range at the moment.
Okay. Well, as soon as we get close enough, that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay.
Hey, Dave. Hey, David, you got a quick second?
Yeah, sure.
You seem fairly reliable. Thank you for delivering that message. I'm sure Taurus will be able to make good use out of that. Can I entrust you with something?
What is it?
Here. Hold on to this. If you run into any operatives in the future, just show them that and said that he did his final magic trick. Don't know what that means. They should be able to help you out.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate everything you're doing here to help us.
We do what we can. Archangels.
As everyone eventually disembarks from the vehicle, navigating towards the point of contact, David, from behind you, you hear Charlie hesitantly banging on the hood of the truck. David, I think I'm just gonna stay and watch our getaway vehicle. Just to make sure nothing, anything bad happens. And you see him sort of unscrew the cap on a sort of yellowish green 2-liter and kind of takes a swig before closing it tight back up again. So, if you need anything, just good luck.
Yeah, hey, thanks for the ride, Charlie. I think playing getaway driver is a good idea. We're gonna have a couple kids out here, and we can fit them all in the back of the truck. Don't leave without them kids. You hear me?
You got it. As everyone begins to navigate forward, I would like everyone to make an effort to utilize their grace. David, why don't you do me a favor and tack on an influence effort as well, please? All of you will be well prepared for the active hype train for the moment.
Five, 6, 7.
That's a 9 grace and a 4 influence.
Okay. So, as you all turn to begin to walk away, you hear Charlie. David!
I look back at him. Yeah, what is it?
Look, I've been alone a long time. Ever since I lost Arlene, it's been hard to trust folks. I'm sorry for what happened. You know, leaving you behind. Look, I wasn't gonna tell anybody because I'm not used to helping folks out anymore. Shit! He moves back to the truck, opens the driver's side door, and flips up the seat. One of these, James Bonder MI6s came through a while back, and things from the sky made short work of her. It wasn't nothing I could have done.
Of course not.
But, you know, it couldn't let the equipment go to waste. Seemed pretty high end, so I didn't want to just toss it out.
Sure. What do we got here?
And you see him pull these 2 straps out from the inside of the cab. It's almost like a backpack, except for there's a very hard, sort of rectangular, almost shell-like backing that seems to wrap around a large plate covering across the top of it that seems as if it would extend just beyond the shoulders. And on one of the shoulders, a very small, multi-barreled, seemingly automated style, almost turret or minigun with rotating chambers. I've never known how to use something like this, but I figure if time comes to have someone figure it out, it'd be now. I turned it on once and it started spinning up, and you know, I think it works. So
Sure.
if you get lucky, then you know, maybe this helps you get out, and I can make amends for, you know, not feeling great about leaving you back there. So
Put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Hey, sometimes we do things when we're scared, and that's all right." But
I wasn't
good man,
scared.
Charlie.
I just didn't give a shit about you. It's just not the way I was raised. It's all.
you're a good man, Charlie. And I'll take this, and as I head back towards where the rest of the group is, I'm going, "Hey, Mage, you ever seen one of these before?"
And this is a self-contained minigun turret harness. So basically, while activated, you can basically spit out multiple attacks anytime that something's within range, if you would like to.
Do I know which operative it would have belonged to?
It might not be operative specific. This is extremely high end and extremely expensive equipment, but it wouldn't necessarily be signature of heavy ordnance for anybody, considering that they're probably very designated for specific circumstances. So it's not something that would be worn all the time.
But it's definitely one of ours.
Yeah.
That's definitely our some of our kit there. Shoulder mounted minigun. All you gotta do with that is just, you know, spray and pray. Not much praying to go along with it. It pretty much just destroys anything you put it you just pointed at.
All right. So normally I'd offer this to you, but seeing as how we got like 15 minutes, maybe you just help me make sure I get it on right.
Yeah. Come here, I'll help you. Help you get
Thanks.
loaded up.
All right, and then I push this button to turn it on.
Yep.
And you
it
immediately
spins it
hear
up.
it spinning up, and 2 small little handles, almost kind of like harness jetpack handles pop out with a button on each side.
Oh, shit.
And if I'm right, there should be in this pocket. Yep, here we go. And I take out 2 little earplugs and pop them in. This is so you don't get the tinnitus.
Thanks. I would have forgotten that. This is cool. I'm just like moving the handles around, just like, look at this.
You know, in another life, you probably would have made a good operative.
I'm gonna say, just based on the foreign nature of this equipment, David, make an effort to utilize your deft, please.
Yeah, okay. Just straight deft?
Yep.
3.
So as you see David, almost this kid in a candy store, moving the handles back and forth, these 2 very like obvious danger level buttons at the end of each of these handles. David's kind of just turning and getting a gauge for it, and you see one of the barrels, both of them spinning very slowly, quickly speed up and spin before you see this massive blast of gunfire shoot out into the wood line.
Whoa. They know we're here now. All right.
All right, so I guess I'll keep their attention and y'all get everything else.
Would have made a good operative chef. Maybe not an operative. All right. All right. Just don't get too excited. And remember, this spits out a lot of rounds. So if you see the barrel start getting red, slow it down.
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. No, don't worry. Yeah, I'll take point, I guess, since they know I'm here now, and then that way y'all can like surprise them, and I'll just start walking towards the camp. I don't know really where I'm going in the camp, but I'm just gonna go get some attention, I guess.
All right. Before we do that, Mage and Gwen, I'll need both of you to make an effort to endure, please.
That is a 9.
Okay. The virus working its way through both of your systems, though the adrenaline and focus on the moment causing the worst of its effects to be staved off, at least for the moment. Mage very much lingering on the edge of a secondary falter into additional effects. This virus truly taking hold, maybe just barely missing the exacerbation of your current symptoms, but for the moment, no additional drawbacks. And you all begin working through the tree line, some of you now much more silently than others. David, since you are now taking more of an upright and overt posture, is there anything you would like to do as you begin to approach and move through the tree line towards this compound?
Yeah, so as we're getting there, just like first notice, is there a congregation of people and or Zerk anywhere?
Make an effort to notice, please.
Yeah. That's 7.
So as you begin working through the tree line, there is a couple people you quickly see darting back and forth. But the main thoroughfares of where these sort of loose structures are placed don't seem to have a lot of traffic. At the moment, you are now approaching probably later into the evening, following your daytime return and the sort of sequence of getting ready, the attack on the school from the hunter that had taken place. And upon arriving outside, you are working your way into a twilight that sees your visual range diminished, but you're able to articulate at least a couple individuals moving with some haste. Other than that, the common movement areas seem to be devoid of traffic for the moment.
All right. As I'm kind of stepping out into the clearing, I'll look back. All right, I'll make some noise and leave the rest to you. And I'm going to just step out and call out, just leaving the guns not actively going right now. Isaac, you little bitch, God called and he gave me a message for you.
Oh, I couldn't have said that better. But don't forget, y'all need to get the kids. So why don't you let me take care of the Isaac call out from here?
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to get them away from the kids right now.
Yeah.
David, make an effort to utilize your threat, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a 3.
Okay. You don't see any immediate response from within the compound, but at a very great distance, with your eyes sort of tightly observed on one of the central channels, the main sort of thoroughfare, if you will, of this compound area, you do notice one head quickly pop out from behind one of these loosely built structures just in front of one of these more foundational or integrated pre-built structures, kind of looking back out at you. And on the opposite side of that street, then you see a rather large figure, still robed, similarly donning this cultist attire, step out in the middle of the street. You! Heathen! Doctor! And this figure turns directly away from you, probably at a distance of just over 100 or so feet, and begins running extremely fast, the opposite direction. You hear the nearby peripherals of Zerk in some unknown location or structure nearby. Clearly, their presence still a persistent issue potentially for your incursion here. But now there is a chilling and deathly quiet that seems to emanate throughout the entirety of the compound area. What would you all like to do?
Isaac! Your dark Avenger, draped in black, has graced you with his presence, ya punk ass.
While they're yelling, I would like to. I'm still trying to figure out where we need to go. So I'm trying to stay either in the tree line or somewhat conspicuous so that I can.
Okay. Do me a favor. Both of you then make an effort to notice. And Mage, please make an effort to utilize your threat.
I am not super threatening, so we'll see how this goes.
Can I just let off some minigun rounds through the center of camp to try to assist in some capacity with this threatening?
Just like a random spray of bullets?
Generally following the person who fled the center of camp and perhaps cutting through some of the buildings, trying to just make it very clear where we are and where anyone who wants to face a threat should be.
I'll say then, Mage, you can add a well-prepared as you hear this sort of blast of bullets again ring out as David begins peppering the area with this automated turret fire. What did you roll?
With that well-prepared, it's a solid 7.
Okay. And Gwen and Adrian for your notice.
12.
8.
Okay. So as you are watching David and Mage both kind of trudging forward, one under the encumbrance of a rather notable piece of heavy equipment and the other from the effects of the virus coursing through their veins, both of you drift slightly and begin trying to eye additional areas of the camp. It's there where you see the only building, most of them made from cement block foundations and built up cement walls. None of these buildings are pretty or aesthetically pleasing in any capacity. They're meant to be almost entirely functional and structural. But you do notice that one has makeshift bars or something in the vein of security that has been added to it. Whatever lies beyond, seemingly one of the only things within the area that they were likely looking to protect or keep secure.
far as like something we think we might be able to
use, or if like people might like keeping people out or keeping things in or out?
I'm gonna say make an effort to utilize your sciences.
7.
Okay. It seems based on the way that they were added and the brackets being on the outside of the structural components to this building, it's probably anchored in from the exterior and is probably resistant to being pushed out. Odds suggest that it's a deterrent from the outside, but it would be much, much harder to remove from the interior, suggesting that it's likely meant to keep things or people in.
Okay. How far is that from us?
Yeah.
That's going to be slightly on the northern end of this compound, maybe about 300 or so feet away.
Okay. Are there things we can like kind of use as cover to navigate?
There's a
that
scattering of structures
Okay.
and a number of things that you can kind of
Okay.
try to dip and dodge between if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to try to sneak over, but I definitely want to keep an eye out for any cultists or anybody that might just be wandering around and happen to catch us.
And
So
Zerk.
as you are segueing down to the side, Mage and David, both of you taking steps forward, the surrounding quiet is still extremely unnerving. You would have thought for sure that there would be something in the vein of a reactionary response or a defensive force or at least something.
I'm
And
gonna tell you. Go ahead.
as you are just taking these hesitant, these inching steps forward, you begin to hear this eruption from within the facility, these explosions detonating, these small pops going off throughout. And you watch as one of the building locations, literally probably only 75 feet or so to your south, the entire front entrance. Coincidentally, Gwen, the same location that you were stored in, all of a sudden Zerk begin to spill out from the interior.
That is not the reaction I was expecting.
It's all right. I got it. And I'll just turn towards them and just start.
Sure. Make an effort to be accurate, please.
Yeah, sure. That's a 9.
So as the guns again spin up, there is this massive blast as you hear David going full Predator Destroyer on this massive collection of Zerk that are stumbling out. Without much issue, it's less of a targeted fire and more of a bullet wave raining out generally in front of David that sees a number of these Zerk almost mystify the moment that they are contacted by these blazing rounds. As the sun continues to set, the tracers associated with the rapid delivery of these rounds, kind of one of the few things cutting through the growing darkness surrounding you. But as it seems to alleviate a great many of the Zerk that are stumbling out of the closest compound, the one where Gwen was actually kept not but a day or less ago, you do hear them continuing to grow from the source of these other detonations within the compound, now heading your direction, it seems. What would you all like to do?
All right. You two should probably start heading towards wherever you think the kids are going to be kept. David, if you want to stick with me, that is completely your call, but I would like to let as many of these just kind of clump up as close as possible, and then let T use the big boy.
I think that's wise. I just also think that I'm bound to make a whole lot of noise, and so they're going to go wherever it is that I am. So if I can go around, deliver you safely to Isaac, maybe group them up while we go, that's probably the best course of action, and then I'll peel off and get everyone else out.
be it.
Adrian and Gwen, please make an effort to utilize your deft trying to navigate through the compound, please.
Three.
2.
Okay. So as Gwen and Adrian finally break the tree line looking to move towards their structural identified location where these where the children are likely being kept for the moment at least, David and Mage, what are the pair of you looking to do?
Gonna kind of follow Mage's lead here.
I want to try to stay within visual of Taurus, but still just try to wrangle as many of these Zerk together in an area. Is there like a place where we can, funnel them or anything?
Well, Taurus moved slightly north and is somewhere in the tree line, so you don't necessarily have a line of sight on Taurus at the moment, but he's likely set up in some kind of overwatch position where he can hopefully see a fair bit of the compound in general.
Is there any like fencing or a building like alleyway or anything where we can use to like just kind of draw them into?
There's very little in the way of like natural sort of thoroughfares. It is a scattered collection of buildings, a large, now largely decrepit sort of rundown metal tower that's already tilted and wilted, maybe on purpose, maybe ravages of time, but it seems as if this area wasn't even meant to kind of be visited by a lot of people, let alone habitated, so there's not a lot of structural flow built into the compound. Nothing in the way of like a fence or an alley. It's just kind of these large brick buildings and the scattered wood little shanty structures that they built alongside them.
All right, well, let's head the opposite direction that those two went and try to lead them away then.
All right, let's do it.
So, as the pair of you begin navigating forward, you see that there are Zerk continuing to spill in from the surrounding area. Are you looking to utilize your high-end equipment, or are you taking alternative means as you continue to progress towards the interior portions of the compound?
Well, all I have on me is a knife and my magic wand. Speaking of, how long from when I start casting will it take for the spell to actually take place?
30 to 45 seconds, give or take.
Good to know. All right.
I imagine that anywhere there's a large clump, I would use the minigun, and anywhere there's just like maybe a straggler or two, I've just got a shotgun that's probably slung over my back, and I'll just kind of pull it out. Honestly, I'll just give you the shotgun. You can just take pot shots with that guy while I clear the big waves.
Works for me.
Yeah, I'll just get it back from you before I leave.
So, David, make 2 separate efforts to be accurate, please.
Yeah, that's going to be a 9 and an 11.
Okay, so as 2 large groups begin rushing towards you, these Zerk, not necessarily faster than normal, but through these sort of scattered openings and no other immediate distractions, especially with limited light, David cutting down these large blasts as the spinning barrel continues to heat up and cut through these collections of Zerk coming towards you. As this is taking place, Mage, the bursting gunfire from directly in front of you obscuring some of the immediate standouts, David having a hard time hearing with the earplugs in. Make an effort to notice for me, please.
5.
Okay, so the gunfire blasting through this collection in front of you, you hear almost in rhythm in between fires this pattering, the definitive sense of a stomping push as you turn to see 2 third coming cultists charging directly towards you. a large knife wielding up above their heads in their hands, looking to charge your direction. Enough time for you to turn and see that they're still about 10 feet out, but their crazed conviction continues to escalate as they charge forward. As soon as you turn, seeing them begin to scream as they are lunging towards your direction. What would you like to do?
Shotgun surgeon.
Go ahead and make 2 efforts to be accurate, please.
That is a 10 and an 11.
Okay, so boom, this massive blast from the one, the other one still running towards you undeterred before another one immediately ringing out, seeing both of them felled. And with the exception of some extraneous limbs and body parts that seem to remain animated despite their dismembered and slightly pink misty forms based on David's deployment of the high-end equipment, the 2 of you remain unaccosted as you are continuing to navigate forward. Gwen and Adrian, as you hear this absolute chaos unfolding, the sound of Zerk in your immediate area is substantially diminished, especially in comparison to what Mage and David are likely dealing with for the moment. But you moving through the compound. Actually, I'm going to say I'd like both of you to make an effort to notice for me, please.
Seven.
4.
Probably fitting as, Gwen, you begin to hear voices nearby from one of the structures. And while it might be easy to dismiss it in the chaos or try to remain focused on your singular approach and designed outcome here, the voice all of a sudden strikes you as familiar. And it sounds like Isaac. The sound waves themselves may be reverberating just enough to cause those little hairs to pick it up through one of the windows of the pre-built structures nearby. And you look to see one of these windows just ever so slightly cracked, a couple inches of opening, allowing you to pick up on the sound amidst the chaos around you. Is there anything you would like to do with that, or are you carrying on towards the location?
Okay. It doesn't... if I hear Isaac's voice, do I hear multiple other voices or one maybe other individual that he is speaking
They're
to,
both
or?
somewhat soft based on your distance and the obstructions between you.
Okay.
You do get the very definitive mumbling or conversational drowned out noise of somebody else conversing with Isaac, yes.
I think I would instinctively kind of like put my hand out in front of Adrian to stop our walking and try to, as quietly as possible, deliver this information. They're looking in the wrong place. We have to let them know. Isaac's over here.
Okay, all right.
Just stay put. Keep an eye on that. Just stay put for a second. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go get them. And I'm going to try to double back. And as soon as I have either Mage or David in line of sight, I guess I'm gonna call out. I don't want to like scream out. If I can get within like low shouting distance, that'd be rad. But
Sure. Okay.
yeah.
We'll address that momentarily. As the good doctor begins to backtrack and take steps away. Adrian, are you doing anything in her absence?
Yeah, is there any way I can, there's nothing else happening around, can I try to get a little closer so I can hear? And if nothing else, I need to make sure they're not like moving around and leaving to go somewhere else. So can I just get a little bit closer, but also I don't want to be seen by anybody, please.
Make an effort to utilize your your grace once more, please.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. That's a 5, which is the highest I can roll right now.
Okay. So as you begin navigating towards the window, you hear Isaac's voice and the voice of an unidentified other becoming more and more clear until your ear is just outside of the window's edge, trying to listen to what it is they're saying. And as you are closing in, you hear the footsteps that bring Isaac directly towards the window, looking out into the compound interior, taking a quick peek around, not turning around to address whomever it is he is talking to. All right. Well, you seem fit to bring us another test, and I will rise to the occasion. Your job now is to be a messenger. Let the doctor know plans will move forward as previously expected. And you can almost see through the angled reflection, he begins to roll up his sleeves. I fear as if our Dark Avenger has returned. The doctor said he needs at least 6. The job now falls on you to make sure that that happens. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Very good. If you listen carefully to what he says, do all I say. I will be an enemy to your enemies and will oppose those who oppose you. Amen. And you hear hard footsteps as he turns, and you hear the door open on the opposite side of the room that they're in. Gwen, as you eventually make your way back in the direction of the departure of David and Mage, you find both of their forms still moving in a similarly slow pace as David's spine and legs are succumbing to the significant weight of this equipment, and Mage is still hindered by the effects of the virus, but now moving deeper into the compound, probably having pushed in 100 feet away from the tree line. It's up to you to attempt to join them or to scream out, but either way, they have drawn far more Zerk attention than you and Adrian, and are at some distance unless you'd like to close in.
Do they seem like they're getting overwhelmed, or do they seem like they have it in hand?
As you pop around to get visual of them, it seems as if they are very, very head on a swivel, very just having circumvented or overcome multiple attacks for the sake of maintaining their awareness, but they don't immediately appear to be succumbing to any kind of overwhelming odds.
Okay. I might try to join them then, if they seem like they're not getting swarmed. And I will try to get as close as I can to Mage to get his attention without shouting.
Okay. Make an effort to utilize your grace for me, please.
Okay. 5.
Okay. So, reasonably quietly making your way forward, looking to segue towards the collected form of David and Mage. David, largely unaware of any audible surrounding circumstances with the earplugs and heavy machinery operating, but Mage having just dealt with multiple threats from the back. After closing in probably a good 25 or so feet, Mage, you would see that Gwen, slinking along the front face of a lot of these structures, is moving your direction. Is there any alternative action you'd like to take?
Trying to get your attention.
I'll make eye contact.
He's over here.
Of course he is. All right.
I don't know. This wait. Okay.
I'll wave her off. David, it looks like we're going the wrong way. Your lady just signaled me. Said that we're going the wrong way. We should head back the other way.
Stop firing the minigun for a second. Yeah, it figures.
Right? Why wouldn't that happen?
Okay. All right. So, all right. So I'm making a lot of noise, right? Let me just run off this way, right? I'll just lead whatever, lingering Zerk population there is. Get them out of the way. You can go in, nice quick extraction, and just give the shotgun to someone else later.
All right, I can do that. Now, David, there's going to be a moment where you're going to see something that you're going to think is biblical happen, but it's really just a magic trick. And some things are going to come from the sky. When that starts to happen, you need to not be here.
Duly noted. Don't worry, I don't believe in miracles. And I'm just going to
At the end of this
pat Mage on the
exchange,
shoulder.
both of you are immediately stopped in your tracks for a brief moment as you hear this. And from some kind of broadcasting megaphone, whatever this location structure seems to be, probably coming from the east pretty definitively, but plenty loud. My dearest Avenger, I see that you have come for your baptism and rebirth. Where the sun touches the sky is where you'll find my love. Please, come to me, open-armed. Embrace me. And you hear the megaphone cut out.
That is one odd duck.
Sounds like you got a hot date with him, though. So,
clearly.
have fun.
Oh man, I didn't even put on a tie or anything. Shit. All right. Well, good luck. Keep your ass alive. And I'm just gonna do a circle in the air and then point to show that I'm moving because I know T's out there somewhere on Overwatch.
Hey, Mage. It's been nice knowing you.
You too, man. Hey, if you get to someplace safe and you get some decent supplies, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Make Taurus a turkey club with smoked turkey and thick cut bacon for me.
Pull a notepad out of my chef's apron, jot something down real quick. All right, I got you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know.
Adrian.
I'm gonna.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, you're good. Transition.
So as Mage and David part ways, Mage working a little further deep into the compound, looking to carry on this journey eastward. David moving back towards Gwen's direction, hopefully for a reconnoiter with the Adrian on standby outside this structure. Adrian, you feel your shoulder quickly jarred as a hand grabs onto it. To turn around and see this sort of gray dress jacket and sort of brownish slacks. This older male form looking at you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What are you doing? Is there a reason you are hunched against the wall?
Just taking a breather. It's late. I'm sorry.
Understandable.
my name's Adrian. I'm sorry, I didn't. What's your name? What are you doing creeping up on
Adrian.
people hunched against the wall?
My name is Dr. Foster. Is
Oh.
there something I can help you with? You seem in distress.
Oh no, I'm just, well, actually, I was just taking a little tour.
Tour. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm just I don't suppose you'd know where some kids are.
Are you looking to adopt?
Sure.
Please, let me help you out. And kind of reaches down towards you, and you see these extremely tight, almost like brown, dark brown leather driving gloves. Please. There are some, perhaps I could showcase for you.
Showcase. Right.
Yes.
That's what you do with children. All right.
Yes. Come on.
Well, okay. All right. My gun is out by my side. I'm hoping he's going to lead me the direction that Gwen and I were already kind of heading, but I'm also very much keeping an eye out for Isaac. Although I guess I heard over the intercom, so he's probably busy with his date. So.
Okay. So as you kind of reach out and grab with your gun in your opposite hand, you feel him not aggressively per se, but a extremely strong grip as he almost pulls you to your feet in a quick jolt.
Thank you. That was.
Oh heavens! Are you injured? Are you all right?
Oh, I'm just peachy, a little tired, isn't everyone? You know, those kids.
Of course.
Right? I'm gonna also look back. Do I see Gwen?
Yes.
Do I see Gwen back? No, sorry,
Not
Gwen. Where's
returning
Great.
as of yet, but you see him
Cool.
now, sort of closing his jacket up as he turns. Right this way. I'll show you.
Right, sure. I'm going to, if I can, just this isn't good for the gun, but I'm gonna try to, as he starts walking, on this building, is it like stone, brick?
Yeah, it's like hard cement brick building.
Perfect. Can I just use, this is not good for the gun, but like, I'm probably gonna die anyway. I'm gonna use the gun to like, just, you know how like when kids get rocks and draw, I'm just gonna draw an arrow in the direction he's walking, so hopefully Gwen will find me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna I would just like to, like little breadcrumbs or something, I'm just gonna follow.
So, please make an effort to endure.
I don't want to though. Okay. So that will be a well, that'll be an 8.
Okay. As you rise, you find yourself kind of a little lightheaded for a brief moment. Quickly compose yourself to scratch the directional information into the side of the building. Right upon you finishing it, you see Dr. Foster turn back towards you. Are you coming?
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I was just, the world needs more art. Keep following him.
A creative. Interesting.
Yeah. I was a teacher, so I was gonna. You know what? Let's just go find a
teacher.
kid. Yep.
Wonderful.
right.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Post haste. Come.
Sure.
And begins navigating down a couple individual rows until you see a Zerk pop out directly in front of you. Dr. Foster not breaking stride.
Oh, doctor. Oh gosh.
Yes, Adrian it is, right?
Right. Is he? I'm gonna start backing up. Are we?
Continues to walk
is that a
towards the
friend?
pair of you, this
Is that
sort
a
of
friend?
shambling mass, and as
We
you
can-
start taking steps back, you see the Zerk move directly past, right by this doctor, and continue coming for you.
No,
Oh.
Is it?
If you have access to a firearm, I would recommend using it now. They're not particularly docile.
Don't shoot at it.
Make an effort to be accurate, please.
Oh my God, the dice have been so kind. Oh, but that's okay because I got all the deficits right now. Okay, 6.
Okay, so as it's shambling your direction, a quick squeeze sees a round put directly into the Zerk's head that sees it fall.
Right.
And you turn to look at the doctor with his hands directly in front of his waist, crossed on his belt buckle. That show.
How'd you?
Wonderful.
But he didn't even.
Come.
Okay.
Children are this way.
That's not a.
And I'll need you to make an additional effort to endure, please.
Where's Gwen? Okay. Oh. 5.
And it's at this point in time you now feel the fatigue really overtaking. Each step forward is a chunky weight that you're trying to carry forward. The movement of the doctor towards this last structure with the bars on the door and this large metallic red door in front of it, you see him turn around a couple times. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm just gonna like
Oh.
is there a wall? Just.
Well, we are just nearly there. If
Right, we're on. It's fine.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. I'll keep going. It's fine.
I am so terribly sorry for the ordeal you've been going through. This must be nightmarish.
I'm a little confused as to why it's a little less nightmarish for you, but that's maybe a conversation for another time.
We all
You're
have our
very-
charges and work and business to attend to.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I forgot where we were. Right.
And turns
of
and
course.
continues walking towards the building. As he arrives, you see the jacket sling back, a small key ring come out. Which one is it? And you now begin to see some of the Zerk nearby beginning to kind of surround and close in.
I need you to hurry.
Yes, of course. Everything in due time. You cannot rush.
Okay, well,
the
you
process of
apparently are friends with
accuracy.
all these. Okay, well, maybe do the accuracy a little faster.
Of course,
maybe.
yes, obviously. All right. Puts a key in, turns it, and opens the red door. But please, after you.
No, after you. I insist.
So as the Zerk are continuing to close in, you see him kind of open the door casually, very well, and steps in through as you are about to be quickly and narrowly surrounded directly in front of the door itself. I'm going to say, please make an effort. I will give you grace or athletics here, unless there's something else you're looking to try.
Nope. Unless. That will be a -2.
Okay. So looking specifically to try and dodge and navigate out of the way of the Zerk slipping through the door, you quickly grab it to shut it in your wrist by 2 separate Zerk falling upon your area, firmly grabbed, and now you feel this pull almost as if you were trying to fight to stay inside while closing the door as Zerk are gripping you to try and rip you outward. You'll have probably a singular opportunity before they will be amassing to pull you out of the structure itself. What would you like to do?
So is this door a push in or pull out door?
This is a open out.
Out. Oof, okay. Well, I'm going to draw my weapon because I have my other hand free. Well, I guess I have my weapon out regardless if it's which hand is free. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna just shoot in the general this area and try to, like, you know how you like try to squish someone's hand against the wall to make them let go with my other hand, you know? And some help would be really nice. Please.
Make an effort to be accurate. I'm gonna say your situation for this particular shot. Trying to maintain closure on the door and aim at a small location is going to be a desperate effort.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a -1.
Okay. So a number of emergency shots ringing out, trying to separate yourself before you feel, despite maybe hitting a couple non-vital areas, the Zerk begin gripping and pulling at you. I'll also need you to make an effort to endure, please.
6.
Okay. In addition to the heat of the moment, the lethargy continuing to take over some of your form. Make an effort to utilize your brawling, please.
4.
With the damage to the arms of the Zerk that you've already tried to forcefully have removed from your immediate accosting, the door itself seems to quickly fly open, almost revealing this entire thrum of 6 or 7 Zerk pushing towards you. This alarm quickly going off in the interior, and you see the door slam close through some automated means as this loud alarm begins going off. Both of these Zerk arms able to be pulled just enough inwards in the quick, jarring moment that as the door slams and severs their hands from their bodies, you have 2 Zerk fists gripped around your forearm, but otherwise your entire form still locked away inside this structural location. Oh. Glad I could help.
Right.
Are you all right?
How I don't suppose you know how we get to leave.
Well,
Just for-
yes. We'll just
Right.
open the door again.
Right. Well, yeah, but they don't like me like they like you, so that I'd really rather not do that again.
Oh,
Shake
there'll
hands
there'll
off.
be no need to be concerned about any of that.
They just tried to bite off my arm.
Oh,
I don't know if
forgive
you
me.
were watching.
I misunderstood. You will not be leaving.
All right. So
Make
look,
an effort to endure, please.
3.
And as you see him hold up his glove, there is a small pin pricking through the palm that he shows to you. You'll forgive me, of course. You're not the healthiest subject that we would have preferred to take in, but the doctor is used to taking what he can get these days. And you feel the lethargy now coursing through the entirety of your musculature, and your vision begins to go hazy. And you feel yourself falling forward as your form is caught. That's all right. That's all right. Everything is okay. You find yourself rolled to your back as this Elden form, now the reflected lights of some of the interior refracting through the bottom edge of his heavy glasses, kind of cutting directly into your pupils as you see him opening up both of your eyes. All right. You'll be largely immobilized for the moment, but I promise you have nothing to fear. You didn't even lose a hand just now. There's many, many bright sides to consider. I've just the roommate for you. Well, come with me. And you feel your head slam back onto the hard concrete floor. You feel the sting of pain, though find yourself unable to kind of immediately react. I'm going to say make an effort to endure, please.
7.
So you maintain consciousness as you feel yourself now being dragged in through the building. A series of flashing lights before you hear your feet kind of bouncing downstairs as your body is being dragged behind this individual. You hear the noises of clanging metal for a brief moment. I've got the right key this time. A large door sliding open, and your form kind of once more dragged forward. What are you looking to ascertain?
How much movement do I have?
It's extremely limited if you're trying to make a specific action.
Can I try to kick off my shoe? He's distracting. He's probably going
I'm going to say make an
back,
effort to
but-
utilize your grit.
Okay. That's a whole 0.
Okay. As your toes wiggle, the small muscle fibers in your calf contracting, this desperate feeling of just trying to get something to move ultimately relents to this terrifying sense of sleep paralysis as your consciousness continues to drift and your physical form fails to respond. Your feet continuing to be dragged inward until you see Dr. Foster's visage emerge into view just from the peripheries, now through the gaps of metal bars, as you see a door slide close behind you. The effects will wear off soon enough. Rest assured. I mean you no harm. Do your very best to remain conscious. Unconsciousness in a paralytic state is potentially dangerous, so do be careful, of course. Again, I'm terribly sorry. The children will be available for viewing later on. I'm afraid you won't have the opportunity to meet any of them individually, but do rest assured I intend to maintain my word. I am a gentleman, of course. Have a good eve? Awkwardly closing the jacket, making sure that his presentation is straightened up, turns and begins to walk before you hear footsteps carrying upwards again. David and Gwen. As you move back towards the area where Gwen and Adrian had just recently departed, you of course find that Adrian is not there. What would you like to do?
I left her right here. And there's nobody around at this point.
You are in a largely empty portion of the compound at the moment.
Of note, wasn't Mage following Gwen to go to where
Mage is looking
Isaac
to have
was?
his private date with Isaac.
Oh, okay. I had misunderstood then. I thought that Gwen was taking Mage to Isaac. That's on me. I misunderstood.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So if she's not here, then where do you think
must
she
have
went?
found Kids, then I suppose that's where she was.
Make
Okay,
an
I told her
effort
wait.
to notice, both of you, please.
Ele- 11.
8.
Okay. So, while this probably doesn't stand out to David as being inherently alerting, having just been in proximity, having just crept closer to the window following the emergence of Isaac's voice, Gwen, you would notice the stand-out sort of white scraping carved, devoid of dirt and structural flatness, this arrow, maybe carved in with the front sights on the barrel of the revolver that Adrian was carrying. And while not able to attribute it directly to Adrian, David, you would notice it is a little unusual to just have a pointed arrow drawn on the outside of a building within this type of outline. at least providing a contextual clue for perhaps what took place. Gwen, fortunately, your original plan with Adrian's still a reasonably persistent awareness that you have. It would be vaguely in the direction, just a few more rows over of some of these scattered structures of where you two were looking to go in the first place. Is there anything either of you would like to do immediately then?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but it would be like a teacher to leave instructions. So I'm assuming she went on ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe we just follow and, get to meet up with her whenever we find the kids.
Okay.
As you begin
whatever they-
navigating that way, though, you also hear what sounds like a car start in the distance. Somewhere
Doesn't sound
close. No, it definitely doesn't sound like the truck, which has a
like
very
okay.
notable kind of rumble. It's a little bit of a beater that definitely calls out the uniqueness of its mechanics. This sounds much more reminiscent of probably a higher end vehicle, something that purrs just a little bit more. But as you hear it off in the distance, rather than peeling out or this massive acceleration, you begin to hear it just pulling off and driving through the open-aired gaps of this flat terrain compound.
I definitely want to try to stay out of sight. I don't know what's going on with that. So, continuing what Adrian and I had been doing, which was kind of bouncing from structure to structure, trying to like as low a profile as we can get until we get to the building that we had seen originally that we thought might house the kids.
On your arrival, you see the better part of a half dozen or so Zerk slamming and pounding on this red metal door, all of them clambering at some unknown entity behind. Two of them, at least somewhat notably, with one of their arms removed.
That's probably where we need to go.
You think this is the place?
Well, that's where we were headed. I'm gonna assume that they were after her.
Okay, so I can shoot him, but it's gonna make some noise. Do we want to make some noise, or do you want to like not stand next to me when I make some noise?
I think maybe our best bet is to have you step a little bit off to the side and try to pick them off as best you can, and then maybe I can get in the door from closer, so I'll hide, hopefully, out of the way.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll, kind of go 30 or so feet away and give myself a good line of sight so that I can see where all of these Zerk are. And then I'll just kind of look back towards where Gwen is and give a nod, fire up the minigun.
Okay. Make an effort to be accurate for me, please.
I'm trying to hide as close as I can without being in the line of fire. Safe distance.
That is a 9.
Okay. So as you begin to spin up this minigun, there's probably nothing like definitively in the way of a crowd or a dangerous clutch like you and Mage were looking to push through only moments ago, but a quick burst, the spin up of the known weapon immediately cutting through the front end of the Zerk outside of this door. David quickly tearing them to shreds. Nothing in the vein of a standing form, though wriggling and moving parts of their scattered collection now available and out in front. With another quick burst, David cutting down and focusing in on the remaining shambling mass of Zerk, sees them all quickly come to a stopping point where now it's just a pile of Zerk in front of the door.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and quickly get in there while the coast is clear and get the door open, or try to assess if I can open it.
The door itself does appear to be locked. A large silver metallic handle seemingly barring you from entering, doesn't want to turn. The door itself, metal, heavy cord, likely difficult to simply brute force your way through. What would
There's
you
no
like to
windows
do?
or anything.
There's
Do I
the
see any-
windows with the bars on them.
I don't know what I can do about that. I might. I know the door's metal, but like I might tap on it as loud as I think it might require to make noise on the other side. Like, Adrian, are you in there? Can you let me in? Tapping on the
No
metal door.
immediate response.
Okay, I don't. I'm gonna try to clear out and get back to wherever David is standing. I don't think. I don't know. The door's locked. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe she's somewhere else. Why would they be clawing at the door?
I couldn't tell you. Is there a back door? Let's go around, see if there's a back door.
There's windows, but they're barred. I don't have any way to.
Around the whole building? Like, isn't it against fire code to not have a back door?
I don't know if there's anybody. I don't know if there's any fire marshals really doing any. We'll get a closer look, and I'll try to head back. If David's trying to get a closer look, then I'm definitely going to keep an eye on our surroundings while he takes a look at it.
Okay. I'll have both of you make an effort to notice if you'd like to.
9.
8.
So it seems as if this structure is largely meant to be a top office. You can see that the foundations near the ground level don't crumble quite to the extent that some of the other buildings have, and this is likely a protrusion rather than a sort of central and localized building. Beyond that, the bars are clearly added after the fact, and it wasn't meant to be a secure location originally, which means that the door itself doesn't necessarily have any specific measures for counter intrusion. Brute force on a steel core door is likely not to get you inside, but the expenditure of what now feels like a lightening of your backpack's load, or potentially attempting to pick through this secured lock, might be viable options to gain access to the interior, if you were so inclined.
Sure. And you're sure this is probably the place where the kids are?
I don't see why they would be anywhere else. Everything else is falling apart. They wouldn't have wasted the energy and resources to pick them up for no reason, right? So.
Sure. Okay. All right.
How are you at picking locks?
Oh, I'm absolute shit at picking locks. Any other threats in the nearby vicinity? Zerk,
there?
Cultists, anything?
It seems very thin right now. A still eerily bereft of action or movement in the nearby area.
Okay. All right. Well, sure hope she's not on the other side of the door. I'm gonna point the minigun at the door. Kind of aim for around the lock handle area, and just
make an effort to be accurate, please.
Oh, sure. That's a 10.
So with the fire up of the minigun once more, a blast ringing through and the door quickly shredded before you hear the backpack click, 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 click. A rapid fire of empty hammers smashing into the backside of the barrels for this equipment. The backpack now seemingly dry of ammunition.
Okay. All right.
Did you have fun with it, though? You seemed like you were having fun with it.
Oh, yeah, this was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I wish I hadn't given Mage my shotgun. Okay.
Here, I'll give him my fancy gun that I got out of the barn. Hold on to
You
it.
shouldn't have.
well, late gift, Mr. Anniversary. Sorry, I was at the zoo, and I'm gonna try to force the door open.
And kind of pulling at the handle, the entire handle actually comes with the door as a small portion of like the bottom left kind of corner third just falls out as there's this carving pattern of bullet holes that have shredded and ripped through much of the door, kind of shifting some of the Zerk parts out of the way that are jamming up some of the entrance. You're able to get at least a good 1.5 foot opening. Inside you see this like almost office kind of administrative area, radio equipment spread across one side of the table, documents and some kind of clerical work directly in front of them. On the left side, an extremely large, probably in the neighborhood of 8 or so feet tall, a large metallic tube almost. Maybe 4 or so feet in diameter, but really tall, that kind of sticks into the floor and the ceiling together. Some type of built-in structural element. And across the entirety of the ground, this soft mist almost floating across the ground within. Maybe about 6 or so inches off the white linoleum paneling.
Mist?
Yep.
On
A thin
the
smoke.
ground?
Correct.
From... Can I assess where it's coming from?
Make an effort to utilize your science.
Um, 8.
This is uniquely sourceless for the type of gaseous mist that you're observing. It's also extremely low, but remaining persistently visible. Everything about it from a physics perspective seems extremely odd or abnormal, though it does seem to be emanating slightly from one corner of the central room, a vague increase in density from a source that you can't quite identify.
Do I hear any kids?
Not right off.
I don't know. I could have sworn this is... I mean, I kind of think that it's coming from over there, and I'll point it out to David as well.
I've taken a moment to remove the backpack and stash it in a bush outside. I don't trust that. This feels like some kind of horror movie shit. Just gonna...
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you about it, but there are these Zerk in this other town where I met Charlie, and they let out like a gas, so I'd be careful about it if I were you.
Maybe we shouldn't be in here, is really the bottom line.
Yeah, it seems like a bad idea.
Other than the sort of large, sort of standout tube in the corner, the radio equipment on one side, this ominous gas that's just clinging to the floor slightly, all of it coalescing sort of right in the center of your view as you see some of it almost tumbling like a slinky down the staircase that seems to take you deeper into the complex itself.
Guess let's do a quick sweep of the building and hopefully they're here somewhere, but if not, we gotta find elsewhere and get the hell out before Mage does his thing.
All right, yeah, we'll check. I will keep David within arm's reach as we're going down the stairs, and I'll hold... I still have the Gemma knives, so I'll keep one kind of like in my belt, but I'll keep the other one in hand just in case.
Okay. As you take your first steps down, your feet causing these disrupting swirls in the mists around your feet to descend into the complex itself. Mage, As you are making your way east throughout the complex, you navigate to what almost seems like its exterior when you see this long open space cleared out. A series of chairs set up in rows. A small gap in the middle, almost as if a wedding procession or pews were placed in this open air, and a large, slightly illuminated beam of light kind of cutting up at the very end of it. Standing at the end of this walkway, hands crossed gently over his belt buckle, shirt sleeves rolled up, the cornflower blue contrasted with the nice pressed fold of his pant. Isaac, standing probably 70 or so feet away from you. My Avenger, were you brought to me or was I brought to you?
Well, I think I was brought to you.
I'm inclined to agree.
Because you are a very sad and lonely man, Isaac.
You try to cut me, but you cannot wound my heart. Come. Pray with me.
I'm going to start slowly walking towards Isaac. Does it look like anybody else is prepped to interfere, or like they're just going to let it happen?
Make an effort to notice.
That is a 6.
Some of them don't seem to be making it a secret, but in the tree line that both backs and somewhat surrounds this outcropping enclave, this location where it seems as if perhaps they have some kind of sermon-esque activity take place, there are at least a few cultists you can see that are in the tree line watching from a distance.
Looks like we've got a lot of eyes on us here, Isaac. Got everybody down here in the pews. Got everybody out there in the trees.
Well, of course. Given the option to witness a miracle, who could resist?
Roughly how many people are here?
That you can see, probably just a half or so dozen.
Half dozen? That's it? All right.
That you're able to see right away. When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than yours, do not be afraid, because the Lord God will be with you.
You know, Isaac, I was doing a lot of thinking. And
Yeah, tell me about it.
You speak a lot about the Lord, but you seem to be forgetting something. Like you're preaching all this third coming and you're the Lord's messenger and all this stuff and you're being tested, but you forgot about the Old Testament.
He's taking steps towards you as you're saying this. Oh, yes. And what is it you would like to impart upon me? Perhaps there is common ground for us.
And I am so sorry, y'all. I'm just going to start pointing at people, like all these people at the tree. And when I say pointing, I mean pointing. And
The
all
laser
those people-
designator?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, wait. No, I'm gonna save that for a second. I want to savor this.
Okay.
And you seem to forget that there were angels in the Old Testament. These angels were always sent to clean up messes. You know, I kind of consider myself an angel. I know you call me a dark Avenger and everything, and I gotta tell you, the branding is awesome on that. I wish I had more time to use it.
You're welcome. Well,
But
seems maybe we are at odds then. Can there
know.
be no peace between us?
Oh, I'm sure there can be. There will be so much peace between us. There's going to be peace everywhere.
I see. Well, as the book says, do not gloat when your enemy falls. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. And he kind of fashions a little bit more of the rolling up of his sleeves, continuing to close in. And he's going to attempt to throw a massive punch at you.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
Go ahead and make an effort to brawl for me, please.
Let's brawl, baby. It's a 2. That is a 7 plus 3. That is a 10. Isaac is still considered human, right? I mean, I don't know if assholes are considered human, but...
Human enough for the immediate circumstances.
All right.
But as this punch comes from underneath and you immediately go to block it, your hands are raised up as the force and strength of this punch seems to push through your muscular resistance, landing on your jaw as you find yourself quickly thrown back.
Oh.
And you see Isaac kind of rubbing his hand afterwards. You will forgive me after this, I assure you. But I am sorry.
You forgot to say Hadouken with that. No. Yeah. Just tiger uppercut, man. That was hard.
I'll try to remember.
Oh.
And he goes into blitz, attack you once more. It's an 18. And the hook connects directly across your face. I'm gonna need you to make an effort to focus, please.
Guess I'm pretty good at that. That's a 8.
Okay. You do maintain consciousness. The snap of your head, this massive jarring, almost feeling the brain within bouncing off both walls as the virus is still siphoning you of your energy. You immediately feel Isaac's hand on the back of your vest looking to pull you up to punch again. What would you like to do?
Oh, I am seeing stars, and I would like to raise my hand and point the laser designator directly into his eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna say this would be a graceful effort. I'll let you use your accuracy if you prefer.
I'll use accuracy. Oh, nice. That's a 12.
So as you temporarily stun him for a brief moment, quickly throwing the laser up behind you, the grip on the back of your vest unrelenting. And as you see him positioning his hand in the way of the laser just to try and make sure he's staring in the correct location, quickly throwing a miss, but pulling back and landing another thunderous blow, almost catching the back of your jaw as he punches straight downward against you.
You know what? I just want to focus on holding the laser designator, and as I'm being hit, just waving it around and flailing as much as I can.
Okay. So another punch directly coming across the back of your jaw as you are bent over sees you flattened to the ground. Make an effort to endure for me, please.
Ooh. 4?
And this is where the virus and the surprisingly forceful bludgeoning of Isaac come into play. You feel this grip, this focused effort to maintain positioning on your thumb as your vision is doubled, your body losing functionality and beginning to give up on you. And
Can I just
Isaac is going to
hysterically?
attempt to grab the laser designator from you. I would like for you to please make a brawling. No. I'll give you grit or endurance or focus. Make one of the two efforts for me, please.
That is a 11 focus.
Okay.
The most laser focus.
So as he goes to grab at it, trying to pull the designator from your hand, your grip is probably the only thing that you are maintaining concentration on at this point. Your face now covered with blood, the impact of Isaac's forceful blows, very obviously taking their toll on your physical form. You feel Isaac grab the side of your shoulder, quickly flipping and throwing you over.
I just want to continue to laugh like a madman.
What is it that's funny here? What are you laughing at, my Dark Avenger?
First of all, you've got a really nice uppercut.
Thank you.
Second of all, in the Old Testament, what did the angels always come with? Flaming swords, you misguided pleated pants, blue shirt wearing dipshit.
Even in the face of your own annihilation, you are indignant. Do you not see I've been granted gifts? Do you not see?
I'm about to grant you my last magic trick, you stuck-up sumbitch.
Magic. You think magic will save you?
Oh, that's why I am the mage. I make the magic happen, baby. Remember the first time we met and I told you to go hump berserk? I meant every word of it. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Indignant to the end. It's like the heathens I would expect. I feel sorry for you, Avenger. I truly do. And you hear the laser designator begin to beep. The signal now beginning to actively triangulate. What's this? And you see some of the collected observers from the Third Coming now beginning to emerge from the wood line to provide this semicircle surrounding Isaac. Your magic is no good against the power of God. Why do you fight this?
And this archangel will descend upon you with a flaming sword, delivering his wrath upon you. And when it comes, he's gonna look at you and say, "Abracadabra, motherfucker."
Mage, as you see the burning phosphorus and the rocket propellant ignited, the payload charging towards your area quicker than any human is capable of moving. What are your last words?
They say that any science so far, just so advanced, is unmistakable from magic. You're about to learn that firsthand. So remember, maybe don't piss off the guys in black.
Isaac immediately begins this smashing tirade trying to lay into your form as the luminescence of the projectile from the jet passing just above. A seemingly desperate and futile effort.
You know, when I signed up for this mission, I thought it was going to be easy. We deploy on a few missions, take some leave in some fun places, get some research done, you know, that sort of thing. If I had realized what kind of shit show this was going to turn into, I would have done something easier, like the Marines. You know, when people say you can't do it, that it's impossible, never lose hope. Just because they couldn't do it doesn't mean that you can't. And that's why I'm the mage. Because I make things and people disappear. I make the magic happen. All right. Looks like it's time for me to do that to myself. And this is where I leave you.
And to those of you out there surviving, stay safe. Stay alive.